Yo, what is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? Guys, I have been very lucky to watch the shows that I've been watching and keep up with what I've been really just enjoying. And to think that the shows that I like absolutely enjoy and I absolutely love are doing so well, like just how they look, how the story is being told, all these different things. Um, it really makes me happy to know that um, Bound by Stray Dogs is still as amazing, if not more amazing, as it always has been. And to think that I haven't like I literally had to go back and check if I've watched all of season two, and instantly I already knew I did because I started to just recall all the great stuff that I had seen in that season. So, yeah, I really am just happy that it's paying off. Like the show has some of the best backstory telling I've seen in a while. Not to mention the fact that whenever they really get into the backstory, um, it feels like you really learn something, like it feels like they really wanted you to understand that in the grand scheme of things, whatever happens, it happens for a reason, or like whatever has been happening carries on throughout the show for the rest of the time, and it's just something that you can expect further on down the line. So it's cool that we get to see all this, but at the same time we really don't get the full on final end all be all, because if we did, if we did, my God, just seeing what could have occurred and what is about to occur in this show, it's clear to me that with with season two showing us just how powerful the guy is, who uses gravity, they literally showed us like what he could be capable of. And because of that, I think it's clear to me that he, in the long run, is just going to absolutely dominate. He's absolutely going to destroy people. Um, and I mean, I knew this before he, was even confirmed to be the one thing that they're actually looking for at this point, which is actually they're actually looking for the person who, you know, caused that huge explosion, did all that damage, and come to find out it's this kid who's 15 years old and somehow, caused that much damage to all of that. So to think that he is kind of just the person who, lost his temper, so to speak, he kind of just lost it overall, is kind of funny in the grand scheme of things when you look at, well, then what else can he really, bring to the table? Like, what else can he. How did my teammates behind me get hurt, bro? I'm confused. What overall is going to be the narrative behind, you know, just this power source, just these people who have put out all of this energy, or they put out all this work just to stop this from happening, and straight up it doesn't matter, like regardless of all that happening, it's still to this day will kind of be a part of who they are and what they had become. And that's fine, because in season two we know that some of these guys have very just weird tendencies to be mad at certain things, or he beats up certain people. Um, but now we kind of see that he might have he never had really a family when he was taken in, so something could have happened during this family, like to his family, or maybe he was the reason that his family might not be around, you know. So there's that in the air. The thing also that really caught my attention this time, and I never really thought of it that much for the character that we were watching, but Dazai straight up looked demonic this episode. Like he asked the guy, "Hey, you want me to like put you out of your misery?" And then as soon as the guy said yes, he just was continuously going off on this man's dead body. So it's these types of things that really give us this easy feeling of, oh, yeah, there is a lot more to come. Like, there's a lot more to be told in this story. They haven't gotten to all of it, seemingly. So, I like that aspect that they are kind of taking their time to get to these things. You know, like, don't, you don't need to jump to the final conclusion just because, you know. Take your time, make sure the show is doing right. Supposedly, someone in my comment section told me that I think the main creator of this show actually has passed on. So, um, it even has. I have even higher expectations now because, uh, I mean, I do and I don't. I have higher expectations. I said that because I want the show to be good. I want the show to have all of this personality that it has right now, and I want to see if they can do all of this stuff that they're doing now, but without, you know, source material, if there is no source material anymore, that is. But to think that we're just now kind of learning of, you know, oh, I don't have a med kit. We're just now learning why Dazai and all these people do the things that they do. Um, it's clear to me that we have a lot to learn, but at the same time, the main guy being, you know, the Sheep King being the one that we supposedly were looking for in the first place, kind of, you know, gave us a new feel, me a new feeling anyway, on what his power really could turn out to be overall. Because man, this kid is already practically broken, right? And to then add the fact that he can, you know, turn into this beast that practically just uses his own, what is it? His own body as like a demonic weapon or such. Seems like we're going to be seeing some ridiculous battles coming up soon. So I can't wait to see what they bring out to the table. Not to mention um, learning of how Dazai deduced everything and figured out just like how things are probably going to be popping off. It was cool to know that whatever he came up with was seemingly right. You know, like he knew it was him who did what he did at that time. He knew that because he did that, it put the Port Mafia in danger, which in return he was going to get executed regardless. So that kind of tells you that yes, now that we know what, you know, Dazai and all of them are capable of, what could be popping off at any given time. My medkit punk. Um, and I love that they told us that because come on, to be fair, uh, no one's going to, no one's really going to take out certain characters in the show. I feel like just because of how like broken they are in cases, but with what we see in the end game of it all, I think we can safely say that Dazai is definitely going to somehow, you know, bring this guy back. But not only that, he's going to um, try to actually make sure people who haven't, you know, gotten a chance to fight and haven't gotten a chance to show up, they're going to get the, you know, the respect and the shine that they deserve. Because look at the King of the Sheep, for instance. This man goes from, you know, being someone who doesn't agree with any of the Port Mafia to then running all of the Port Mafia seemingly like tasks and stuff. So it's one of those things where uh, if you don't really understand the concept of where the show is going, you get lost really easily. But I feel like because we have a decent understanding of where this stuff is going, we can put together what could happen. Um, and clearly, he's probably going to allow this guy to see, uh, he's going to allow him to see just what came about his power, like he's going to see exactly what the King of the Sheeps is capable of. But not only that, we're then probably going to see um, you know, what all that means. Like if he's capable of like causing that huge entire destruction that he did, what can he do on a day where he's just fighting to fight someone close range? What can he really do to some people? And I think we're about to see that relatively quickly. Not to mention the fact that all the people in the Port Mafia still haven't even really been, announced, or we haven't really learned a lot about all of them, so to speak. So um, that's kind of where I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to seeing all that kind of transpire and show us just what can be possible with this show down the line. Not to mention who else is going to be relatively a bigger, uh, like just overall presence in the show. Dazai being one of my favorite characters and showing a new side of him that I've never seen before kind of gives me the feeling that we're gonna learn probably the most about him than anybody. Um, if we do, it could be something really dark, like about his parents or something along those lines. Because the way he was acting this week and the way he like took out his anger on just the overall person in general, it gives me the feeling that there's so much more we haven't learned about this character, and I want to see it all. It's just when, oh, when will it be? Uh, but yeah, amazing stuff. We get to learn kind of where the true villain is, but at the same time, with it being him, it's weird that he was like hunting down people, and I guess it does make sense because he probably wanted to kill off the last survivors. That's who he was probably hunting for, and because of that, we got a pretty good answer now as to who or what it could be that destroyed this stuff and why he could be searching for this guy. Not to mention the person that actually was lying and, Dazai figured out and all that stuff. We learned that he actually betrayed the mafia and he was going to die regardless, but by him finding the true monster or the person that, um, he's looking for in the first place, like all this information he was gathering, now it leads him back to the point of, like, regardless of what you do, you kind of have to just deal with the overall notion that they're going to have to fight. Like, they have to straight up go against things at their own pace, or, like monsters that might be using the same powers as them, but much more creatively, much more tactical, things like that. Why didn't I go inside and then it closed? But yeah, I love the notion of this show, and I just got jumped on and gonna lose HP for it. Awesome. And I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing what people are actually thinking about this show. I love how this guy is just gonna watch me die. I'll make sure they all die. It's okay. But yeah, overall, we know now a lot about this show that we're gonna continuously probably learn. Oh yeah, you're gonna die, kid. Thank God. Um, but necessarily we don't even get all the answers we need, but I can't wait to see what they actually teach us in the overall scheme of this. So, with that being said, my anime people, look at this bot gonna save me because she's a real one. That's why I healed you, girl. I hope you guys have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be, and I will talk to you soon. So, with that being said, take care and peace. Douchebag.